we're gonna start this thing. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, um, we're starting off with this picture of musical notes, just as a placeholder because I didn't want to give away what the first picture was while we get this thing set up. So, yeah. Anyway, and Zafir, Kathy, I apologize. I'll be talking over pictures that are probably going to be delayed on your end.
No,
That's
that's
okay.
fine.
And secondary apology if I just sort of go a big wet rubbery one. I apologize ahead of time. But so let me clip this thing to my shirt so it stops banging into the desk. And all right. So and the first image of the this project that I was working on is of CW, Cat's Whiskers. She's just sort of hands in her hands, looking sad for some reason or other. I'm not sure it matters to this particular comic story. I don't know what you did. This PowerPoint presentation. It doesn't really matter. But she's looking sad, and then suddenly she sees something that makes her perk up, and in comes this guy. Hey, babe, I brought you a present because you know, "Hey, babe" was one of Gene's catchphrases, right? And, and "Hey, babe, I brought you a present." Ta-da! And Cats was, oh, well, I don't need to say who's talking because I gave him little bubbles. Oh, Tomcat, you really shouldn't have. Oh, uh, oh, Tomcat. And this is when they start singing. If you brought me diamonds, if you brought me pearls, if you brought me roses like some other gents might bring to other girls, it couldn't please me more than the gift I see. A pineapple for me. If in your emotion you begin to sway, you need to get some air or have to grab a chair to keep from fainting dead away. It couldn't please me more than to see you cling to the pineapple I bring. I can feel Hawaiian breezes blow. It's actually from the backyard. Even so, how am I to thank you? Kindly let it pass. Would you like a slice? That would be nice, but frankly it would give me gas. Then we shall leave it here, not to eat but see. A pineapple for me from me. Ah, ah, ah. And at this point, they start talking again. But, Mr. Catlow, you should no more bring me pineapples. It isn't proper. It's the sort of gift a young man would only bring to his lady love. Well, if that's true, then I only wish I could fill your entire world with pineapples. A pineapple for you from you. Ah. And that's it.
Yay. Oh man, that was very touching.
Something.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
So, yeah, that's what I was working on. Let me switch back to the camera.
okay.
So, yep, Gene Catlow died, and
Yeah, it's very sad.
oh god, get rid of that background. No. there. Thank you. And it was I think I was maybe the fourth or fifth person to find out. I got a call. I think it was Thursday night while I was at work, and it was Candy calling me and saying it just the first words out of her mouth was Albert is dead, and I knew exactly what she was talking about, but of course, I asked, What?" But you just out of a shock. It was just sort of jarring. Gene Catlow has just always been there, ever since I was a little baby artist. In I was a little baby artist just starting out in this fandom. He was just always already a presence. I mean, I knew he was older than me, so of course he had been at longer. But you know, just a staple. You sort of take for granted some things like that, and you know, um, so as a baby artist starting out in the fandom, I got myself into a lot of trouble, lots of the time. Uh,
Lots of the time.
Lots of the time, and it's a habit I've yet to break. Uh, I keep getting myself in trouble often, and it's would just be a given that one of my supporters would be Gene, no matter what dumb fool thing I did. He always just sort of had my back, and he was like that with everybody. I was telling Candy the other day, Gene is the last person you want to ask about an idea you have or something like that because he thinks they're all brilliant, and that that's great for the ego. It's not so great for the project, but God bless him for doing it. And the first time meeting Gene that was at a uh, I think it was my first convention. It was my first conifer anyway. Um, I was just a nobody. I was attendee. I wasn't at a table, and this was even before Jack. Yeah, I started working on the Jack comic. This was way back in Rework the Dead and all that stuff. And uh, so I was basically nobody there, and I was leaning over a table with a drawing in my sketchbook, and I hear this voice say, "Hey, I know you," and there's Gene. He recognized me from my art, what I was drawing alone. That's how he recognized me, and I thought that was pretty awesome of him. And he was just always the nicest guy, and he was. I often it started off teasingly, but I meant it in as it went on that I would refer to him as Sir Albert Temple because I thought he was probably the only person I knew who was worthy of knighthood or something like that, or some sort of honor of that type. And yeah, it's it's just an incredible loss. There are some people who, when they go, they will leave the world no poorer, and no better, no worse. Gene's passing. It's a worse. It's a worse place now. But it's uh I don't know. I'm still getting used to it. But I'm somebody else say something real quick.
Something real quick. I didn't know Gene as long as you, obviously,
No.
but
Yeah.
basically, anytime I would ever post something, he had something to say,
Hmm.
and he was always very supportive, very kind. Anytime I talked to him, it's basically what Dave said. He would just throw support at you, and it does feed the ego and make you feel good about yourself. And yeah, he was a very, very nice person, and I'm sad to see him go as well.
Um, so yeah, we in talking to friends and family about what happened, we'd pass on stories about the guy, and I think one of my favorites and I had forgotten that this had happened, but Katie happily she reminded me of it. He was visiting for a convention out here, and we took him to a local used record shop. It's gone now, but it was Buzzard's Records, and Gene got upset in the most adorable way because he had found that they had put Kenny G in the jazz section, and he had found that offensive, I guess. But no, um, let's see. He back when I was still living with my parents, he spent the night again for one of the cons, and yeah, it was fun having him over, and he complained because our cat slept on him, but um, but yeah, so. I apologize for the long wait, everybody, but that's what I was. I had all the drawings done by the time it was ready for the stream, and there's a lot of people who did the 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 uh, the pictures of being sad he's gone and everything, and there's I didn't think there was anything wrong with that, and I mean it's sort of I'm coming to realize it was sort of a universal feeling, and but I wanted to do something not to necessarily mark his passing, which other people have done better, and I wanted to do something that sort of celebrated who he was as a person, and I think uh, CW was pretty much the center of his world, and if he would have some kind of eulogy, he'd like her to be a part of it, and he wouldn't want anything somber. I think he was always smiling. He'd want some kind of somebody to find some kind of happiness
Yeah.
in even the right. I'm rambling. I don't have any of
No,
this
it's
prepared
okay.
or
He
written down.
he wouldn't want to see everybody all miserable. Let's put it that way. Like, he's not the type of person that would like to see anybody like that.
So, um, but yeah, I did no. So okay, yeah. I think
It's all good,
I'm
man.
just
It's all
digging a hole
good.
now.
Don't worry about it at all.
But
No, that was very touching. I had to mute my mic. Not gonna lie.
oh well, I'm glad. Yeah, somebody else talk for a little bit while I see what the channel's up to. Yeah,
Okay.
well done.
I'm working on it. Yeah.